If you've been watching the news at all, you know that church attacks are a real rising threat. More and more churches are realizing that these threats cannot be ignored. Some megachurches have dozens of uniformed police officers every Sunday, and that's great. Other medium-sized churches are able to have several well-trained guys on an organized safety team, which is also great. But what if you go to a little country church, or you just seem to be the only one in your church interested in keeping your church protected? In this video, I'm going to show you what to carry in church if you're the only one carrying. Let's do it. What is up, guys, and welcome back to Modern Protector, where we talk about the skills, the tools, and the mindset that you need to protect yourself, your family, and your church. Let's go through exactly what you need to have on you every Sunday if you're the only one responsible for protecting your church. Be sure to stick around to the end because the last one is one that no one thinks about, and it's probably the most important. First up is pepper spray. Now, pepper spray is a great tool between a harsh word and a gun, when you need to stop someone from attacking you, but deadly force is not the answer. Pepper spray can be really effective in forcing an angry attacker to take some time out and go cry and cough for a little bit. I think that pepper spray is actually more important than carrying a gun because you're much more likely to need to defend yourself from a simple assault than a deadly attack. Although yes, you should be carrying a gun too. We'll talk about that in a minute. I carry my palm pepper spray with me everywhere that I go. The clip unit attaches right to the inside of my pocket, and the thumb flip makes it really easy to stay safe and still use it really quickly. I'll put my affiliate link for this one in the description down below. Next up is a good flashlight. A good light lets you see threats clearly, and it helps you to find the exit if the power goes out, and gives you more of an advantage in low light conditions, especially if you're doing something like, let's say, on a Wednesday night or Sunday night after it's dark. A flashlight is also a great disorienting weapon. You can also use it in your hand to fight with. Right now, I'm carrying the AceBeam UC20. It's pretty small and sleek and fits really well in my pocket. I'll be honest, I rotate through a different flashlight every month or two because I just love EDC flashlights. The UC20 is compact, it's crazy bright, and I love the quick strobe setting. If I push this down halfway, I get that bright flashlight, and if I push it down all the way, I get that bright strobe setting, which is pretty disorienting. This next one is almost always forgotten, a trauma kit. If somebody gets seriously hurt, like shot or stabbed, then the first 60 seconds are everything. Having a trauma kit with a tourniquet, pressure dressing, chest seals could realistically be the difference between life and death. If you do have an active shooter in your church, and even if you stop him really quickly, you're going to have some emergency bleeding to go along with it. That's the sad truth. You have got to have the tools on you to stop bleeding fast so that you can save lives. My favorite for personal church carry is the ankle cuff trauma kit from Mountain Man Medical. It's got all the essentials so that you can have a tourniquet and chest seals and gauze and quick clot, trauma shears, all kinds of stuff in there in case you need to stop bleeding fast. The downside to this is if you have like multiple gunshot wounds or multiple victims, then this is not really enough to stop the bleeding for several people. But it's a great personal kit if you need to deal with your own wounds or one other person. If your church is willing to invest in a trauma kit to have on hand, then I definitely recommend the Mountain Man Medical Mass Casualty Kit. This one is built specifically for churches and schools to deal with multiple different casualties so that if you have several people that are wounded, then there's a ton of different things in there that you can use to stop the bleeding fast. It's not cheap, but your church may be willing to invest in this even if you don't have a church safety team because everyone can get behind what to do in medical emergencies. I'll put my affiliate link for both of these trauma kits in the description down below. Highly recommend investing in one of these. Before we get to the handgun that you need, if you are new to concealed carry or you're just trying to find the best way to conceal a gun, then check out my free guide to concealment. I designed this guide to be the perfect starting point for concealing a gun comfortably every day. And it's totally free. Check it out in the description down below. Next is the handgun. Now, anytime I talk about carrying a gun in church, I always get comments from folks saying that carrying a tiny pocket gun or an ankle gun is the only way to go for church carry. I 100% disagree. You need to be carrying a gun that you can shoot the best. I'm talking about the one that you can draw quickly and safely and get multiple shots on target quickly at 20 yards, because that's the most likely scenario if you have to stop an active shooter. It could even be further than that. You cannot do that with a tiny little pocket or ankle gun. Most of the people that talk about a pocket or ankle gun being best for church carry have never actually run drills at the range with a timer, because a timer doesn't lie. Carry the platform that you train with and that you shoot really well. Okay, so the right gun comes with the right way to carry. The next tool is a good, safe holster. This is huge. Your holster needs to cover the trigger guard completely, hold your gun securely, and allow you access to your gun consistently. And it can't collapse on itself when your gun is drawn, because that's dangerous. If your holster doesn't do these things, it's not safe. You need to be carrying in a sturdy Kydex holster that is designed to fit your gun exactly. There are tons of different options out there for concealed carry holsters, but the one that I trust every day is the Intrepid holster from Eclipse Holsters, the sponsor of today's video. I can get a consistent fast draw, the trigger guard is completely covered, and it conceals really well. If you carry at church, your holster has to stay in place when you're walking around, when you're sitting down, or when you're carrying around a kid. I've got 3, so that's pretty much all the time. Eclipse holsters come in tons of different print options, custom washers, and different belt clips. Get yours at eclipseholsters.com. All right, so what is the last thing that you need to be carrying that no one talks about? Verbal judo skills. I know it may not sound all that tactical, but stay with me. You can have the best gun, you can have the best light, the best trauma kit, everything. But if you blow up a situation with words, then you've created a fight that you didn't want and you could have avoided.
Okay, let's fight.
I'm not trying to fight, no.
You ready?
No.
Verbal judo is the art of managing people with calm, controlled language. It's about getting purposeful, voluntary compliance. It's how you de-escalate, redirect, and get folks to move without using force. This is a skill that you have to master because it can end a lot of fights before they even start. And it's the single most effective tool for someone who's the only armed person in the room. I think that every concealed carrier needs to read this book. And if words aren't working, the other layers are there so that you can win the fight. And if words are working, then you just avoided possibly pepper spraying somebody, using your firearm against somebody, and possible medical emergencies. As your church grows, talk about adding a few folks and organizing a church safety team. But one guy with the right setup is always where it starts. And the most important thing that you can do next is take some quality training classes. You can be much more prepared after a 2-day training course than just with having the best gear that money can buy. Skills are way more important. So what's in your church EDC? Let me know in the comments down below. If you gained value from this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe down below and check out my other church security videos. Until next time, be alert, stand firm in your faith, be strong, be courageous, and let all that you do be done in love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.